about ready to get the first part of my meal in a jar, which is the spaghetti sauce. I ran that for 40 hours. I did add several hours to that so that I could get up at a good time to finish it. So let's get her out. Okay, there we have it. 3.5 trays of spaghetti sauce in my watermelon, which looks done. The first thing I'm going to do is get this watermelon put away. It's very humid today and I don't want any moisture getting in this. Okay, that'll keep until it's ready for me to do something with. Now let's check out this spaghetti sauce. I broke that one in half. The ground beef in there looks pretty good. Let's find a thicker piece here, like maybe right there. Yep, that looks good. This was my bottom tray, I think. Yeah, that looks good. That looks good. Tastes good too. Okay. So what I'm going to do is take my mason jars and put some of this in the bottom of each jar. Just poking it down in there really well. There you have it. I had ended up getting 2 full cases of pint jars from 3.5 trays of spaghetti sauce. I only filled them partially full because I'm going to fill the top of this with noodles. The theory being that if I put the water in, most of the water will surround the hamburger and all that, boiling water, and keep the noodles moist, and I'm thinking the noodles will rehydrate quicker than the other product. So that's to be tested in the future. So what I'm doing now is defrosting the freeze dryer. I'll get my oil changed. Then we'll load her up with spaghetti noodles. Okay, we're counting down. This is probably going to be my first load of spaghetti noodles to go with my spaghetti sauce. I'm going to say first because I'm not sure I'm going to have enough noodles in this load to finish it. Okay. There's not really much I can tell you about these. They came out interesting, and they look like those chow mein noodles you get in the can, you know, for the Chinese dinners that they have in the can. Not much flavor to them. So I'm going to get these panned up before I start getting moisture sucked into them. So we'll look at the finished product or something next. I'll let you know. Just show you me jarring some of this up. Now this is the chili spaghetti I did earlier, and vacuum sealed it while I waited for the noodles to get done. I'm just having to break these up, kinda, just pushing them down there as best I can. And I didn't have enough Parmesan cheese, so I was using some cheddar on some of them. Just top that with some Parmesan. Grab my lid. Master Pro 380 it with the attachment. There you go. Good to go. I've got 2 more jars. Okay. Let me get this stuff cleaned up. We'll do a taste test. Okay, so here comes the big taste test. The way I'm going to do this, I got 2 cups of water there. I'm obviously not going to use all that, but it's boiling water. And I'm going to try and put probably a cup in there, covering the cheese here. I did use the one with the Parmesan, with the cheddar cheese, because I want to save the Parmesan for my food store. And that's a cup of water. I'm going to put my lid back on it. There's my meal in a jar. I'm going to let that sit for about 20 minutes. And see if that rehydrates well inside the jar, sealed up. So I'll be back in 20 minutes. Okay, it's been exactly 20 minutes. So just to refresh what I've got in here, I got bottom quarter was spaghetti meat sauce that I made. Then I topped it off with the rest of the jar, leaving about a ½ inch, ¼ inch head space with crushed, they weren't crushed when I freeze dried them, but spaghetti noodles, but then I pressed them down into the jar, so that kind of crushed them. Then I topped that off with Parmesan cheese that had been freeze dried. Now this particular one, I used the cheddar cheese because I wanted to save the Parmesan for my long-term food storage. So it's been 20 minutes. I put a cup of water in there, which almost filled it up. So let's open it up. A cup of boiling water. Let's open it up and give it a stir and see what it tastes like. Smells very good. Stir that meat sauce up. Get her up to the top. And here it comes. Smells really good. Okay, here comes the taste test. cheese. It's kind of stuck to my fork, so it's kind of like hot cheese. With a little bit of crunch in there. The noodles had a slight crunch. I'm just going to stir this a little bit more. Okay. Noodles are getting softer. So maybe a 30-minute would have been better. You can almost see that cheese stringing. So I'm very happy with that. Let me see if I can find some hamburger in there. Okay, so there's a good chunk of hamburger. Let's taste what that tastes like. Okay, that is delicious. That hamburger came out really good. The reason I put my sauce at the bottom was because I wanted the bulk of the water to rehydrate the meat and the tomato sauce and everything else. But I was worried about the chunks of meat not getting rehydrated, being dry. But that was a good marble-sized piece of meat. Let me see if I can find another one. I'll show you on the camera. Okay. See that? It's got all that meat in there. That is good. And the noodles are softening up as I speak. It's probably the top part that didn't have all the water on it has now been mixed in with the bottom. Oh my gosh, this is good. I can imagine two scenarios eating this. Number one, I come home from work and don't want to do a lot of cooking, and I'm single, and cook a huge pot of spaghetti is just ridiculous. End up throwing half of it away. So this I can just make a pint jar, and that is delicious. Definitely a thumbs up on that. The other scenario is in an emergency situation when there's no food around, and this this would be a feast. I mean, it is delicious. I cannot complain about that. Okay. Let me take a picture of this. We'll get it posted. Man, that is good. We'll get it posted and move on to the next thing.